Midnight News coming to you live from Algiers. I'm Miriam Zin, and here are your top stories for tonight. Israeli occupation army commits 9 massacres in Gaza, killing 91 Palestinians and injuring 210. Euromed Rights Monitor condemns Israeli army for destroying Gaza hospitals, abusing patients and staff. Also coming up tonight, the International Court of Justice is to issue a decision on South Africa's request for Israel to cease fire in Gaza. And in Chad, Mohamed Idriss Déby Itno was sworn in as president for a 5-year term. Welcome back to the program. On the 230th day of its aggression against the Gaza Strip, the Israeli occupation army committed 9 massacres, resulting in the martyrdom of 91 Palestinians and the injury of 210 others. The Palestinian Ministry of Health in Gaza said that a number of victims are still under the rubble and on the roads, and ambulance and civil defense crews cannot reach them, thus bringing the number of martyrs in the Gaza Strip since the beginning of the Zionist genocidal war to more than 35,800 martyrs. The Euro-Mediterranean Human Rights Monitor said that the occupation army's destruction of hospitals and health facilities in the northern Gaza Strip and causing the rest of them to be completely out of service is tantamount to mass execution of the sick and injured. The Monitor explained in a statement on Thursday that the occupation forces stormed Al-Auda hospital in Jabalia camp, northern Gaza. On Wednesday evening, detained medical personnel, patients and wounded, and began abusing them. The observatory added that Kamal Adwan Hospital, located between Jabalia camp and Beit Lahia in the northern Gaza Strip, is also subject to siege, gunfire and repeated bombardment by aircraft and artillery, which caused it to be out of work.
After the Al-Auda and Kamal Adwan hospitals went out of service due to the Israeli army's raid and acts of vandalism after they were partially operational in recent weeks, all the hospitals in the northern Gaza Strip are now out of service, and there is no longer any place to transfer the dead, wounded or sick people to receive treatment. This means a deliberate Israeli decision to execute tens of thousands of people and cause their death by depriving them of their right to health care.
The Euro-Mediterranean Human Rights Monitor confirmed that the occupation army is carrying out an almost complete destruction of Jabalia camp, calling on the international community to intervene immediately and seriously to protect Palestinian civilians from the crime of genocide committed by occupation against them.
The occupation army is carrying out an almost total destruction of Jabalia camp, which was considered the most densely populated place in the world, and the destruction affected more than 400 houses. We call on the international community to intervene immediately and seriously to protect Palestinian civilians from the crime of genocide that Israel has been committing in the Gaza Strip for about 8 months, to protect what remains of the health sector and to work on its immediate reconstruction as it is part of the infrastructure necessary to save the lives of Palestinians there.
The military wing of the Hamas movement, the Al-Qassam brigades, published scenes where we can see the fighters targeting a special Zionist force after it was lured into an elaborate ambush with a thunder bomb in the Beit Hanun in northern Gaza Strip. Al-Qassam said that it also targeted the rescue forces, pointing out that hours later its fighters completed their mission in the same place by sniping 3 Zionist soldiers. Let's take a closer look.
الله أكبر الله أكبر اهدى اهدى على الواحد.
The Al-Quds Brigades, the military wing of the Islamic Jihad movement, published scenes of mortar shells with which it said crushed the occupation soldiers and vehicles penetrating east of the city of Rafah, as you can see in the following footage.
الترددات الصهيونية شرق المدينة بقذائف هاون الستين. الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر ولله الحمد.
The International Court of Justice said it will issue a decision tomorrow regarding South Africa's request to order Israel to cease fire in Gaza. South Africa demands an immediate halt to all military operations in Gaza, including the city of Rafah, where ground operations began on May 7, adding that Israel has so far been ignoring and violating the orders previously issued by the court. And the EU Foreign Affairs Chief urged on Wednesday the 27-member bloc to find common ground following Spain and Ireland recognition of Palestinian statehood. Borrell said in a post on the X platform that he will work tirelessly with all member states of the bloc to encourage a common European Union position based on a two-state solution. Still within the same context, Algeria, along with 15 other nations spanning Africa, Europe, Asia, and Latin America, issued a joint declaration concerning their collective commitments to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, UNRWA, aiming to revitalize funding efforts for the agency. The joint statement underscored the vital role and significance of UNRWA's mandate, particularly in light of systematic attempts by the occupying forces to undermine it. This comes at a critical time when the residents of the Gaza Strip are in urgent need of humanitarian and relief assistance. Moreover, the statement highlighted the signatory countries' acknowledgement of the agency's crucial and irreplaceable contributions over its 75-year history in aiding Palestinian refugees and fostering regional stability. Moving on to other developments now, the corpse of the late Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi arrived on Thursday at his hometown of Mashhad in the South Khorasan province, northeastern Iran. The plane was carrying the corpse of the late president, and 2 of his companions landed on Thursday morning at Birjan International Airport and was then transported to his hometown, where he will be laid to rest in the shrine of Imam Reza, which is considered the holiest site in the country. The corpse also of the late Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian have been transported to the city of Shar-e-Ray, located south of the capital Tehran, for burial at the Shah Abdulazim Shrine. The body was taken to Shar-e-Ray, south of Tehran, where it will be buried at the Shah Abdulazim Shrine. The funeral procession for Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi and his foreign minister and their entourage, which took place on Wednesday evening in the Iranian capital, Tehran, witnessed the participation of responsible leaders from 68 countries. The official Iranian news agency IRNA reported that 50 high-level foreign delegations participated in the funeral ceremony for Raisi and his companions. The agency added that among the foreign participants were 10 delegations at the level of leaders, about 20 delegations at the level of ministers, and the rest at different levels, such as speakers of parliaments, special envoys, and others. Salah Boujil, Speaker of the Algerian National Assembly, signed the register of condolences at the Iranian embassy in Algeria at the request of President Abdelmajid Tebboune on Thursday. This gesture followed the tragic death of Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi, Foreign Minister Hussein Amir Abdullahian, and their entourage in a helicopter crash. Boujil conveyed heartfelt condolences on behalf of President Tebboune, the Algerian government, and the Algerian people, expressing deep sympathy for the Iranian nation. He highlighted President Raisi's significant contributions to defending the Palestinian cause and fostering bilateral cooperation between Algeria and Iran. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, Mr. Ahmed Attaf, was received today in Dakar by the President of the Republic of Senegal, Mr. Bassirou Diomaye Faye, to whom he handed in the written message conveyed by the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, and extended his sincere greetings and his aspiration to work with him to give a new impetus to Algerian-Senegalese relations. For his part, President Bassirou Diomaye Faye entrusted Mr. Attaf to convey his greetings and appreciation to the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, expressing his aspiration to meet him and work with him to implement their mutual commitment towards issues of peace and development at the regional level. General Saeed Shengriha, Chief of Staff of the National Army, supervised a night tactical exercise titled Shihab 2024 in the 2nd Military Region. The exercise, conducted by the 38th Merchandise Infantry Brigade with support from various forces, technical units, air support, and regional air defense, took place at the 2nd Shooting and Maneuvering Field in Rajm Darmoush. The Algerian Ministry of Defense reported that the exercise was designed to simulate realistic conditions in alignment with established plans and objectives. General Shengriha commended the participating units for their efforts and the successful outcomes that met the exercise's goals, reflecting their proficiency in their assigned tasks. General Saeed Shengriha, Chief of Staff of the Algerian Army, also emphasized the critical role of fuel support units, describing them as the essential lifeline supplying energy to the battle force. This statement was made during the inauguration ceremony of the Central Fuel Depot in Masbah, located in the 2nd Military Region. According to the Ministry of National Defense, General Shengriha underscored the importance of efficient energy management and conservation. He urged officials and personnel to prioritize the rational use of fuel resources to ensure the optimal performance of their assigned tasks. A groundbreaking Algerian-American partnership has emerged as the Algerian giant firm Sonatrach joins forces with the American energy powerhouse ExxonMobil. This historical deal entails ambitious and strategic plans aimed at opening up fresh avenues for the development and optimization of the energy sector. Marwa Belaiwer has more details.
Algeria and the United States have forged a pivotal moment in their economic and energy ties through the signing of a strategic pact between the Algeria's leading hydrocarbons firm Sonatrach and ExxonMobil, a major player in the global oil and gas industry. This agreement marks a notable leap forward in the quest to unlock the potential for hydrocarbon development in the Ahnet and Gurara regions.
As we are about to sign this historic head of agreement with our partner ExxonMobil of the development of mutually beneficial cooperation along the whole value chain of hydrocarbons industry in Algeria, especially in the field of exploration and production. We believe today that we are taking a major step in terms of developing and valuing our energy resources and enabling our country to move to a new phase of sustainability of development. Algeria is determined to intensify beneficial partnership in order to move forward on the path of improving growth rates, diversifying the economic and achieving social prosperity.
Today, with the guidance of President Abdelmajid Tebboune, Algeria is resolute in ramping up investment initiatives and maximizing the advantages of favorable partnerships to bolster efforts aimed at enhancing growth rates, diversifying the economy, and fostering social well-being. This presents an opportunity for Sonatrach and ExxonMobil to enhance their capacities in hydrocarbon exploration and production.
It's quite evident why ExxonMobil is drawn to a partnership with Algeria. While the new hydrocarbon law adopted in 2019 was certainly an important catalyst, the preeminence of long-standing domestic factors that have enabled the success of the national oil and gas industry here cannot be understated. The talent of Algeria's energy workforce, cultivated through generations of collective experience and world-class training. The country's strategic location as a gateway between Europe and Africa, and a mature and dynamic industry that commands tremendous capabilities right across the entire value chain. These are some of the reasons that make Algeria such a compelling destination for investment in the oil and gas sector. And these are the reasons why we at ExxonMobil are eager to work together with Sonatrach.
By collaborating, these two energy industry giants are laying the groundwork for a fresh era of global cooperation, economic expansion, and sustainable progress. This partnership not only offers Algeria a chance to capitalize on its natural resources, but also to solidify its position as a significant player in the global energy landscape.
On Thursday, the Algerian company Sonatrach inked a deal with Baker Hughes firms to finalize installations aimed at enhancing the Hassi-R'Mel reservoir in its third phase, marking the second step of the project. This agreement is part of efforts to secure gas supply in Hassi-R'Mel, which stands as the largest gas reservoir in Africa. Sonatrach CEO Rachid Hachichi expressed appreciation for this significant agreement, emphasizing its role in sustaining gas production levels and meeting Sonatrach's international commitments.
I have indeed the great honor of announcing the signing of major contracts in engineering, procurement and construction between Sonatrach and consortium of companies expected by Baker Hughes, Nouveau Pignon International and Techmimont. Emphasizing that this partnership marks a decisive step in the development of Hassi-R'Mel gas field. The Hassi-R'Mel deposit is, as everyone knows, the largest natural gas fields in Algeria, but also on the entire African continent, and its contribution to the growth of our economy and our country's position on the international energy scene is therefore important, even invaluable.
Lorenzo Simonelli, CEO of Baker Hughes, regarded the agreement as a crucial milestone and emphasized its significance as a highly important and strategic project, not only for European nations, but particularly for Italy. Let's take a listen.
The project that is highlighted today is another milestone in giving security of gas to the world and energy for the population of the world. I would like to congratulate Sonatrach and also the partnership between Tecnomont, Baker Hughes, and all involved in making this possible. It is a very important and strategic project, not only for many European countries, but in particular for Italy. I look forward to its successful execution, and again, I look forward to the future prospects of continued growth and continued gas development in Algeria, a place that we know well and we call a second home, with the facilities and the employees we have here and the service shop of Algesco. I wish to thank, in particular, Sonatrach for its commitment, its partnership, and also its confidence in Baker Hughes and Tecnomont in taking on this project.
Participants in the 10th Water Forum in Bali, Indonesia, praised the Algerian experience in the field of irrigation and the strides Algeria has made in enhancing its water security while valuing its capabilities in the field of traditional irrigation. Forum participants expressed their admiration for the efforts made in the context of preserving traditional irrigation systems, especially in desert areas, and the research being made by Algerian experts in the field of water management.
This has been very impressive to see the technology that's been developed here, as well as the protection of the culture and the history and the tradition. And it's a way to bring this together to make water even more available to more people, to serve agriculture, to serve human needs, and expand the capability and impressiveness of this country.
I think the experience of the Fugara was amazing. To understand how a traditional system has been maintained and how the current generation values it and understands it for sustainable usage. So I think it's of extreme value to protect it, the traditional knowledge, and with upgrading it with the technological advancements. So it's an amazing thing to learn, and I think it's an inspiration for the other countries in the region and around the world.
On Thursday, Mohamed Idriss Déby Itnou was sworn in as President of the Republic of Chad for a 5-year term, renewable once. The inauguration ceremony took place in the capital, N'Djamena, in the presence of a number of heads of state and the rotating President of the African Union, President of Mauritania. And Mohamed Idriss Déby Itnou won the presidential elections that took place on May 6, with 61% of the votes cast, ahead of his rival Soksi Masra, whom Déby appointed as Prime Minister for 4 months.
Excellence, Monsieur le Président de la République. Nous, Mohamed Idriss Déby Itnou, Président de la République.
The 13th International Cultural Festival of Symphonic Music has concluded on Wednesday at the Algiers Opera House, Boualem Boussaïeh, with Syrian and Russian operatic troupes who have delighted the audience with classical music. Hossein Berkan has more details.
The 13th edition of International Cultural Festival of Symphonic Music ended last night at the Algerian Opera Boualem Boussaïeh, featuring international melodies from 15 nationalities over a week. The People's Republic of China was the guest of honor, and the festival also celebrated Palestine with international melodies and notes.
I'm first time in Algeria, and I trust you. I'm happy to be here because it's a very great country with big story.
I'm so happy that I'm here on this festival, and this performance was amazing, and it's a very big honor to stay on this stage.
Bridging geographical divides with music, the Algerian opera brought together around 140 artists. The final night saw the audiences mesmerized by the classical pieces performed by the Syrian and Russian choirs.
So yeah, I love the Russian performance. I also love the Syrian one, and especially the last part where they improvised. It was very unique, very original, and yeah, I just loved it.
We attended the Russian musical show and the Syrian musical show. The show was very interesting. We had a lot of fun during the whole show.
The artist's creativity and skills delighted the audience with renditions of classical masterpieces, contributing to the growing popularity of classical music in Algeria.
I particularly enjoyed the finale, where all of the soloists sang Brindisi from La Traviata. That was just indescribable.
Today we had the orchestras of Syria and Russia, which are very different. What is interesting is that you could see the contrast between Algerian, Syrian, Russian cultures, Italian and other cultures too. I loved this contrast, and honestly speaking, I'm not disappointed.
Each year, the International Cultural Festival of Symphonic Music attracts more countries to participate, expanding its influence and drawing a knowledgeable audience that appreciated the nuances of maestro's directions and response with enthusiastic applause.
That concludes tonight's program. Thank you for watching and have a great night.